Michael. Welcome back.
Hello, Lars. What's up?
Not much. I think that the people may have missed us. Our last cocktail episode was sort of the French Open last year.
And who would have thought we're still here in COVID?
You know what? I think that Barbara Krejcikova win was just so shocking for me that I needed a solid 8 months to recover. Yes.
Who's that again?
Hey, we love Barbara Krejcikova.
She won Olympics too, right?
She won something else, and she is a 7-time major champion between singles, doubles, and mixed.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
she is a future Hall of Famer, and all the power to her.
Yes.
Now, in transitioning to our episode today, yes, the Australian Open is right around the corner, but I think that we've learned our lesson about making tournament-themed drinks. So what we're going to do is go back to players, okay? I have a limoncello here.
I'm excited.
So this legend, and I use that word, very sacredly, but she is a legend, just was on our friend John Guerica's podcast and dropped on the pod that she loves herself some limoncello. Do you know who it is?
I believe that's Chris Evert.
Chris Evert. We love Chris Evert, and she's an 18-time major champion.
That I didn't know.
Can you imagine winning 18 majors?
I could imagine winning 18 tournaments, but not majors.
Right, I know. And she has so many records. We're going to run through the laundry list and just bow down to her later. But this is a limoncello cocktail, and we only have some of our ingredients out here.
What's going to be special for this?
So this is a special cocktail because for the first time ever, you and I made some special simple syrup to really spice this cocktail up. So this is a raspberry limoncello Evertini is what I'm calling it.
You guys are in for a treat.
Raspberry,
at home.
right? Such a treat. Raspberry limoncello Evertini. I wanted a cocktail that was a game changer. And when we think about Chris Evert's game, like we talked about when we made earlier today the raspberry simple syrup, she was a baseliner. She's like one of the first baseliners.
Power hitters at the time.
She changed the game from serve and volley to baselining. And so I wanted a cocktail that revolutionized our show.
And that she'll like too.
So we made sure there's limoncello in it. You're going to need 3 for vodka because
the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. It's been a while. We're going to do 1 for the limoncello, and then we're going to teach everyone how to make the simple syrup, and we're going to use between half and 1.
Yeah, depending on the sweetness level that someone likes.
Right, exactly. First things first, we need to have our ice already prepped. Another first is that she was the first world #1 when they started the ranking system. Isn't that so cool?
You know what year that is?
1970s.
I don't think it.
We're gonna just put it right over there. I have to say that I can't think of a better person to hold that trophy. That trophy first, right?
Yes.
When you think about Chris Evert, what's the first few words that come to mind?
I mean, I've known her mainly with the commentating world.
Understandably.
She's a stellar commentator. And now she's like the premier. I think her title is what?
It's like principal analyst or something.
Oh, fancy.
We love it. So for me, when I think about Chris Evert, I think her nickname, actually, which she actually scoffed at on the podcast. Everyone should check out the podcast to really John does a serious deep dive. This is more of a fun show.
He always goes a deep dive.
He is incredible, and we bow down to him as well. And so she actually scoffed at her nickname, which was the Ice Maiden.
Ooh.
And it was because she
on the
was...
Court? Off the court?
On the court. Because off the court, she's humorous, and she's a fun Sagittarius. On the court, though...
Connection.
We do. We share a sun sign. But more so, on the court, she really taught the importance of the mental game and being focused and being present in every point.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but even in a very intense USTA or GLTA tournament, I will daydream every so often.
Oh, I do. Sometimes you're playing, you're next thing you know, 2-3 games later.
Right.
What the hell the games
you
go?
just blink. And she was so good about being present point to point to point to point.
Yeah.
To point to point.
I need to learn from that.
Right. And so we need to go back in the archives and look at some really solid Chris Evert footage because that is what got her to the 18 slams. And when you looked at her physique, she definitely was an athlete, but she was lean, and she needed to be the full package mentally and physically, and she really embodied that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But even though she's hit the ball well, she stayed at the baseline.
And it's Chrissy we've seen come to
Deuce.
Another.
There it is again. Down the
speaking of the Ice Maiden, we have our ice already here. I actually like that she was called the Ice Maiden because her persona was very much about being focused and not letting anything faze her. Because I know that in the USTA and the GLTA, there's a lot of antics that happen. There's a lot of bad line calls.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know who you is.
Mm-hmm, and I get a little too sensitive about that, I have to say.
You're serious, though, on the court. You're way more serious than I am.
You know I am.
This one will sit in the corner, will not say a word.
I'm sorry. I'm there for a reason. We can kiki off the court. On the court, I'm there to destroy you.
Yes, he is. And he'll, like, do this, like, crazy grunt now. You do this crazy, like, mean stare across the court. I've witnessed it, like, 3 times a day.
Okay, but my role models all had an incredible grunt, so I'm going to do the same. And let me just say, I hold 6 titles.
Yes,
so
you do.
It's working. Anyway, let's go ahead and pour the vodka. So we're going to do one of the 2 and then one of the 1.
What's your tip, though? Remember the cheapest thing first?
Oh, you're so right. The cheapest thing first,
forgot.
which was this, actually. This was... and then
okay, never mind. So this is the cheapest
You're
thing.
supposed to go with the cheapest first, but technically it would be this for just this bottle.
If you're using Belvedere or something.
Right, if you're using Grey Goose or...
So this is 2 and 1.
Because 2 plus 1 equals
3. You're learning math at the same time.
Did you know that Chris Evert won 2 Australian Open titles?
Not 3.
She didn't.
How does that make sense?
Because we just did the 2, and then she was the world number 1. So there you go. It's 3 somehow.
We'll make the math work somehow.
We'll make the math work. And then you're going to do 1 for the limoncello. When you think about the opponents that Chris Evert had, we're talking Martina.
She had all the greats, though. Her era.
She had to play, like, Billy. She had to play
Martina.
Yvonne. Pam Shriver. And then, do you know who actually was the person who played her in her last match, who's a legend in her own right? Xena Garrison.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm too young.
It's okay, I know. He's born in 93.
Hey, this one is no more twink. He's a twunk now.
Thank you. So Chris Evert had to play the greats. She even played Steffi. Like, she had to play towards the end.
Yeah,
right, towards the end. Actually, she once beat Steffi like 1-1.
Oh, wow.
You know, and Steffi's coach, she shared this on the podcast, went up to her after the fact and said that was the most consummate performance in women's tennis he had ever seen.
Wow.
So really,
well, she's a legend.
She is a legend.
Speaking of a legend, she plays like a legend.
Amen.
And she loves this limoncello.
She loves limoncello, and so let's go ahead and get the simple syrup, and then we're gonna add it.
Get the simple syrup, raspberry now.
So we're going to be making our simple syrup now.
Are we a cooking class now?
We are. You know what? For Chris, we're going to do the whole experience, right?
Nice.
So just call me Ina Garten.
Who's that?
That's Barefoot Contessa. What you're going to need is 1 part water to 1 part sugar. She's really boiling, by the way, so we're going to jump right into it. I have 1 cup in there.
Any kind of sugar.
We're going to do 1 cup of sugar. So essentially, after we add in the sugar, it's going to start dissolving, and then we're going to just add in all of our raspberries, except for that 1 raspberry that we missed. Make sure you get out any sort of raspberry stem that you see, because we don't want any stems in here. We just want
Let's put this
the real. We're just going to throw her in.
Don't waste it.
We're not going to
leave no raspberry behind.
Leave no raspberry behind. And what you're going to want to do, as you can see as I'm pushing down, we're going to start to mush it. So as you can see, we are continuing to push like
it's almost
this.
like we're making jam.
It's kind of like we're making jam, but if you think about it, simple syrup and jam are very similar. And so this is what we're going to be doing, just like this.
This is a simple recipe I think I could do.
It's such a simple recipe. I'm going to actually turn the heat off on it because everything looks like it's been dissolved. Just continue to do that and get it as fine as possible. Of course, with a raspberry, it is, you know, a little bit of a chunky yet funky kind of berry. So you're going to get a little bit of some chunk. But I think that's okay because it's
chunky's fine.
We love a good chunky fruit. Anyway, so
that's simple syrup.
That's simple syrup, exactly. What you're gonna want to do is make sure that this cools, right? And actually, it's gonna add some delicious texture to the cocktail. It's gonna really bring out the best in the limoncello.
That I could get behind.
We are just going to be getting this to cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her in the fridge, just like this. Please don't look at my fridge. Don't judge my fridge, people. So that's how you make the simple syrup.
That's simple.
It's that simple, right? Just 3 ingredients: water, sugar, and raspberries. Right. Such a great cooking demo.
You taught me well, Ina.
Ina, exactly. Good job. Ina Garten. I love it.
This is very MacGyver-esque.
This is very MacGyver-esque. Now, as you may be noticing, the simple syrup is steaming right now. You're supposed to cool it overnight.
Yeah.
But
we did it live.
We did it live for you guys. When we're also apologizing to Chris Evert. If you ever take a look at this,
Chris should watch this.
We're gonna fish out some simple syrup and pour it on in, just like that. Right? So I filled it up halfway to the 2. So we got 1 for the simple syrup. And then what we're gonna be doing is you're going to be doing this, karate chop it, show off your muscles.
If you've been watching our show before,
if you've
at least
seen
5
our
shakes.
Show, what?
At least 5 shakes, you said?
5 to 18 shakes, depending upon how angry you are. And I have to say, with this whole Djokovic debacle we're dealing with, I'm pretty angry.
Oh, that's going to be tricky. Well, he's going to play.
You think he's going to play? Yeah. I don't think he will.
No.
By the time this episode comes out, we'll find out.
We'll find out. Predictions.
What we're going to do right now is do the good old-fashioned strain. And look at that delicate, ladylike color. We love it. She was such a queen on the court, and I feel like this cocktail really evokes that essence. And thank you for reminding us that you need to have a garnish, right? Always garnish. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one really quickly. No, you only do one.
Just kidding. Just one garnish.
Just one at a
Less
time.
is more.
Right, cool. So this one is like for Chris, and then we're going to make one for Martina, who's her best friend and biggest rival.
Yes, Martina. They're both legends. That's crazy. They both have 18, you said?
Both have 18. Isn't that like a lot of majors to win?
She should have just played one more.
So the thing that they've talked about is that Australia wasn't the same thing that it was now.
It wasn't as big.
It was technically a major, but it like they didn't know that the history books would be solely decided by majors.
Oh yeah.
If they did, they would have flown around Christmas and gone there because it was played around Christmas.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have flown halfway across the world. At that time.
But the AO is kind of like the Asian opens. That's why it's gotten bigger. It's
gotten much bigger because tennis has expanded into that part of the world.
Yeah.
When you look at the Queen of Darkness, Margaret Court's record, and a lot of our Australian Opens were like locals were playing.
Yeah.
No disrespect to those players, but you can't compare Margaret Court's Australian Open titles to like Serena's.
We'll have to have an episode
you know what
on
I mean?
that.
We can have it.
Break it down.
So I put in the vodka. And
the limoncello.
We need to put in the limoncello. You're so right.
You're lucky you have me here. What would you be doing?
I'm so thankful for having you here. And I have a question for you. When you think about Chris Evert, and you think about the fact that she was a baseliner, what is one thing you might take away from that?
For myself, it's mental game of being patient.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where my issue is.
So
the patience.
I think that's a really good example because I know if I ever need to win a point against you, I just need to lock down and play a counterpuncher game, and eventually, I'm gonna.
Eventually, I'm gonna hit the error.
Right, exactly, and we're gonna need a little bit more of that. This is such a gorgeous way to take simple syrup and put it into
turn
here.
It up.
Right, just turn it up a notch, and I really wanted to elevate this for Chris Evert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love listening to Chris Evert commentate on tennis.
The thing is like she has the credentials to be a commentator.
Yes.
Not everyone who commentates has those credentials.
Correct, right.
Because not everyone's won the 18 majors.
Yeah, or even like 5 majors or something.
Right.
On the WTA, there's not that many ladies that won like more than 5.
Right, totally. I mean, or with the men either, if you think about it. And the other thing that you brought up is another record we have to talk about is highest winning percentage, male or female, on clay at 94.55%. Like,
wow.
That is an A+.
Oh, I'm used to getting B's. I'm good.
Right. I mean, but if you can think about that, that means that in 20 times that she'd go onto a clay court, she won 19 matches. Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That's amazing. It's amazing.
So we have our cocktails, and I have one more Chris Evert fact, but important to remind you beforehand. Once again, please check out her interview on the Fantastic Podcast with John Guerica, because he actually really does his research, and we're just having a good old gay old time right over here. After she name dropped the limoncello, I was like, I have to get Michael over. We have to make a quick episode. One really interesting fact about her is that she holds the record for most consecutive years winning a title. Can you guess how many years in a row she won at least one title? At least one title.
How many titles? I would say 10?
More.
Whoa, that's
over
hard.
A decade. Yeah. 13.
Oh wow, that's
lucky number
huge.
13.
Lucky number 13.
Hey, there you go.
Who says 13 is a bad number?
I agree. But here's to Chris.
Chris, cheers.
There we go.
Limoncello.
Let's do the taste test. Oh. It's the lemon. It's the limoncello raspberry Evertini. There you go.
This is good.
This is very good, right? Yeah. Okay.
A little twist, little hint of raspberry.
So good.
And a lot of vodka.
So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spending our time talking some
AO stuff. We
have to talk about it. As we're filming this, I just got a text from another homosexual WTA fan who told me that they're having a press conference in 25 minutes, and we don't know what it's about. But we know.
We're assuming.
Right. So
Djokovic.
First things first, we're going to vote right now. Does Djokovic play the AO?
Yes.
I say no. So let's find. Well, stay tuned for that.
Bruh.
Now we're going to talk about our top picks for taking the title, okay? Let's start with the women.
For women, Halep just played really well.
We're going to go one at a time.
Well, so Halep played really well, and Barty. The Barty party is still rolling.
The Barty party is rolling. She's my number one pick.
She's my number one pick, too.
Yes. I will say that Aussie players typically have a hard time at home because they love their country so much.
I'm still rooting for her, though. I think she's got it.
I do think that she stands a very, very good chance. Yeah. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to pick 3 people that are our front runners, and then we're going to pick 3 people that would be nice if they won it, but they could maybe do a run. You know what I mean? So you have Barty and Halep as your first 2. Pick one more.
And then, maybe if... I know Kendall's not going to win, but I want her to do a repeat.
So that's not a front runner. So let's try that again. Think about a front runner.
Those 2 and maybe what's her name? That young Emma.
That's not a front runner either. But you know what?
Wait, she might win.
She actually just lost Love and 1 in her
last
last match.
she also but she still, she won the U.S. Open.
So you're seeing 2 different points of view, which I love. Okay, so we're just going to go with Barty and Halep.
Yeah, Barty and Halep.
Okay, love it. And then you have already 2 that
or Sabalenka. I really want Sabalenka to win.
That's another potential front runner.
No, I don't think she's going to win it, but I would want her to win.
Okay, so your 3 would be Barty, Halep, and Sabalenka.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, my 3 are going to be Osaka, because Osaka is playing good ball again. She's won the AO twice. She's won 4 hardcourt majors.
She just pulled out though too.
She's gonna bring it.
She's gonna bring it.
Barty as well. And the thing is the last time that Barty and Osaka played, I believe it was in Beijing. Please correct me if I'm wrong at home. They had a 3-set epic and Osaka won. And that was on hardcourt.
Yeah.
Same part of the world. So
but she hasn't played in a long
She
while.
hasn't played in 5 months, but she is showing that she just has the goods, right?
Yeah.
Those are my top 2 front runners. My third front runner would actually be Garbiñe Muguruza, who's coming after the World Tour Finals.
Yeah.
She won the World Tour Finals. She is a good hardcourt player, and she hasn't gotten that hardcourt major yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go for our fairy tale runs, and you already said 2, but would love to hear a little bit more about why Kenin and Raducanu.
Well, Kenin, I want her to do repeat because people really dog her a lot. They feel like she was a spoof,
right, a fluke,
a spoof, whatever.
A spoof, a goof.
But I really would like to see her, and she has a really cute outfit on right now.
Okay, I haven't seen her outfit yet.
She has a really cute outfit on.
Okay, cute picture of outfit. Raducanu.
It's a princess story.
You're right.
She just won, and I would love to see her.
She's Anne Hathaway and Genovia. I agree with you. And I have to say, I like Raducanu as a person. She seems super likable. She speaks 3 or 4 languages. She seems relatable from many different angles. My concern is that she has very limited experience on tour, right? So I don't want to put too much pressure on someone too young, or we can end up with like a Capriati-like situation.
That's why I don't think she has the pressure. I think she has a chance to.
Okay.
She doesn't have the pressure.
I could see that. If Raducanu makes the third round, I'll be really, really happy. And to me, that would be a fairy tale run for her. Since, remember, she's only played 2 majors in her whole life.
Yeah, and look at, she has a good record.
She has a trophy.
She has a good record.
And she's made the second week of both. So, who knows? My big people that you may not think about immediately, but when you look at their year last year, it makes sense. The first would be Danielle Collins. Okay. Danielle Collins won the Bank of the West. She won NorCal, which is a big tournament. It's on hard court. When Danielle Collins is feeling good and playing well, she is Miley Cyrus on that wrecking ball with a tennis racket and a ball, right? Tennis balls fear her.
Yeah. Well, she has a great stature. She has great backhand, forehand, so she's...
Totally, 100%. And then the other person would be the other side of the net to Raducanu losing love in 1 was Rybakina. And Rybakina is another player like Collins who, when she sees the ball, that ball disappears. She hits it that hard.
Outside the court or inside the court?
Inside the court. Wow. Inside the court. So I'd say Rybakina and Collins are my 2 picks. And then I have one more, which I need to declare on the podcast. Mai Hantama from Japan is a player currently in qualifying who had a very good end of the year last year, and she is a player to watch for 2022. So whether she does well here or later in the year, you heard it here first.
Ooh, there predictions here.
What can I say? I last year called out 3 players in March to do well. Clara Towson, who's now like top 50, top 60. Juliana Olmos, who's a doubles player she won Rome. And she made it to the World Tour Finals. And then Ann Lee, who's a top 50.
Ann Lee,
who's a top 50 player now. So my first prediction for players to watch in 2022 is Mai Hantama.
Nice.
So let's talk about the ATP for a second. Assuming Djokovic, let's remove Djokovic from the equation. He's won 9 Australian Opens. We know he'd be the favorite if he's there.
Correct.
Outside of him, pick one other person.
I would say Medvedev is next choice.
Yes. Okay.
And then Tsitsipas.
Tsitsipas.
Have you seen his new look?
He looks like a baby.
I didn't recognize. I thought he had a facelift.
And oh my god. I will say he is someone who would benefit from facial hair for sure.
Yes.
I will say that if he's living his truth with a facial hairless face, good for him.
No, I like it. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I just didn't recognize him.
Right, I agree with you. So he's definitely a new fresh look.
And then Nadal. Nadal always.
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, I would go in the order of Medvedev and then Nadal. And my third choice would actually, you're gonna probably be like, you're crazy right now, but I would say Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud is an underdog. He's won several titles last year. He won actually 5, I believe, last year.
He won one in South America.
He won like 5 titles though. He even won San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego,
which is right by us. And he is someone that, on his best day, I feel like he can go toe-to-toe with everyone.
Yeah, and he's cute.
He's very cute as well, which, you know...
Cute goes a long way.
It does, as you saw from our Borna episode. Cute goes a long way. By the way, Borna Church is coming back on tour.
I can't wait. I was just talking about him yesterday.
Oh, I'm not surprised. And you know what? We're so excited for Borna to come. Now let's pick a couple of dark horses.
You go first.
Okay,
I have to think about this.
So while he is ranked higher than Casper Ruud, I'm picking Berrettini as a dark horse because I feel like he has a tough one-on-one record against certain people, like Djokovic, for example. Last year he lost 3 majors consecutively. Medvedev, also, he doesn't have a great record again, from my understanding. So I would still pick him more as a dark horse, but I like the guy and I hope he does well.
Okay, have you seen his new ad?
I haven't seen his new fashion.
Good.
Wait, are you talking about the GQ one?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I did see that.
Yeah. He's doing Boss and like Dior. And
I mean, he's a supermodel, right?
Sexy
and we love it, right? And Ayla Tomljanovic is a very lucky lady.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On and off the court.
On and off the court.
Did she win today?
She did not win today, but she fought very hard, and we support Ayla Tomljanovic as well. My other dark horse would be Jannik Sinner, another Italian.
Yes. And the young up-and-comer.
Right, and the only reason, he is top 10 technically, so the only reason why I say dark horse is that he's so young.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I would love to see a U.S. guy, do better at these finals. and maybe your Tiafo would.
Yeah, speaking of which, I don't know if you could tell, but I bought Frances Tiafoe's incredible.
Oh, you weren't gifted that?
I wasn't gifted.
You had to buy that?
I paid money for this.
God.
And let me tell you something. The fit is great, and Frances,
I like it.
I will continue to buy your clothes.
I like it. The
Frances,
shorts are cute.
thank you so much. I that's why I bought them.
I think he's one of the top U.S. players right now.
He and Fritz are definitely leading the charge.
Yeah, but Fritz, I watched Fritz play the lead-up tournaments. He didn't play very well.
We'll see. I agree the ATP Cup wasn't great for him. I do think of the Americans, them two and Korda stand the best chances.
Yeah, I like Korda.
I think that's where our money should go. One interesting thing is Felix has not won. We're going to Canada right now. Felix hasn't won a title yet, but he's playing the best tennis of his career.
Yeah.
Do you think that Felix could maybe win a major for his first title?
Yeah, I always liked him. I like how he plays. I like his energy in the court, but we'll see what happens. Canada just won.
Canada just won the ATP Cup. He's playing
so.
incredible tennis, and Yelena Ostapenko did it in 2017 for her first title. So why not Felix?
Go Canada! Oh Canada!
Oh Canada! What else? They say A, right?
Yeah,
they say A, and
hey or hey?
And something like that. And then they also say sorry a lot.
Oh, that.
Sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. No.
Let's see. Serena is absent, as you know, from this tournament. Do we see her at the French? Do we see her in Miami? Do you think that we see her at Wimbledon?
She would probably do French because that's one of her best surfaces also.
Okay,
right?
well, all of her services are the best services.
Oh, excuse me.
She's technically only won 3 French Opens. That's more than any other active player right now. She's won 6 for the hard courts, and then 7 actually for Australia, and then she won 6 or 7 Wimbledons. So, but nonetheless, all of her services she is the best at because she is the best.
Hopefully she comes back. I mean, this absence is way too long.
I'm dying a little bit right now, but you know what? This is I feel like this is prepping me for when we support her and when she decides on her own terms to hang up the racket, and she is the only person who can decide that. No one on Twitter, on Instagram.
Hopefully they don't retire the same year, her and Venus.
It would be hard to imagine one on tour without the other, though. Point counterpoint. My dream would be to spend a day with Venus and Serena. Of course, they don't celebrate birthdays, so would not, want to be respectful of that. But just a moment with them. And
I had a moment with her.
It is a callback to my birthday in 2018 when we both stopped by her meet and greet. She wasn't there yet. I went back to get ready for my birthday party, and you sneaked back to the meet and greet and had a full-on...
Well, they messaged me and told me she's going to be back there.
Well, then you had to go, and you made her laugh. You were a model for S by Serena unofficially.
The original launch for her.
The original launch. You were on their Instagram. You weren't an official model, important to say. And you know what? Since we have reviewed S by Serena, I have people who have messaged me that they've bought Serena's clothes. Yeah, so I think we should do a second review.
Yes.
I think that's what's coming. This was so fun.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'm so happy that you love the cocktail. Cheers to everyone out there. Cheers. And we'll be back in 2026 for the French Open. See you later.